We are unmuted. Video is working. All right, it is 6 o'clock. We'll call this August 17th Delphi Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to order. Thank you everyone for joining us. If you could please rise if you're able and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah. Hey, I've had a few of those. I know you don't just stand up real quick, so. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. We don't have a BZA or a planning commission meeting every single month, so the ones that we do have, we try to get our brains back on set for the ones that we had maybe 3 or 4 months ago. So if we run into a few memory glimpses, that's just we'll get them figured out. But first of all, we do have we'll do a roll call because we have a new board member, which is we'll just start down there with Christina.
Jacob Grist, Mayor appointee.
Greg Norman, and I am the Planning Commission appointee.
And now Cameron Yates, the Delphi Mayor.
Gloria Mills, Mayor appointee.
Brandon Short, mayoral appointee.
So as I stated, we have this is our first BZA for 2026. So we'll start off with, instead of doing our normal routine, we will first vote on the minutes from the last Board of Zoning Appeals meeting, which was on February 18th of 2025. So for those of you, everybody was on the board, I believe, except for Gloria. So I'll hand this off to whoever after we do the officers. But first of all, can I get a motion on the floor for the approval of the February 18th, 2025 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting minutes?
I make a motion, we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. I will now open up the floor. Is there any, Brandon? Yep.
Yeah.
Open the floor for any discussion, additions, subtractions, corrections to the minutes, which he said as read, so we'll move forward. All right, all in favor of approving the February 18th, 2025 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting minutes signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Now we'll move on to the next section, which we don't normally do this, but this is our first meeting in 2026. So we'll move on to the election of officers. I will entertain any nominations. First, we will start with president. Our current president is Brandon Short, I believe.
Mhm.
Yep. So I will entertain any motions for 2026 Board of Zoning Appeals president.
Brandon, you gonna be president again?
Doing a great job.
It was a lot of work last year, I know, but
I think I've had to do 5 meetings in 4 years,
yeah,
so if anybody else wants to give it a try, you might have to do once. Sure.
is there a motion for?
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Brandon for president.
I'll second.
All right. Again, I will ask for any additional nominations for Board of Zoning Appeals president for 2026. All right. Hearing none, we will call vote. All in favor of approving Brandon Short to be the 2026 Board of Zoning Appeals president, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations.
Thanks.
That comes with a pay raise.
Yeah.
Next, we will move on to the vice president. I will open the floor for nominations for the vice president 2026 for the Delphi Board of Zoning Appeals.
Sure, okay. I'd like to nominate Jacob Grist as the vice president.
All right, I have a motion. Is there a second to nominate Jacob Grist? Brandon Short. All right. Again, I will open the floor for nominations for vice president for 2026 Delphi Board of Zoning Appeals. All right, here now I'll call vote on all in favor of approving Jacob Grist to be the 2026 vice president for the Board of Zoning Appeals, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Jacob. Congratulations. Next item will be for secretary. I will open the floor for open the floor for nominations for secretary for the 2026 Delphi Board of Zoning Appeals.
I make a motion, we use Christina Langsdorf, who has done such a great job for the last 30 years.
I agree.
Gloria being new, do you have any interest in it or no?
No, I do not.
That's the quickest answer I've ever heard.
Nor do I.
Did someone second?
I
second.
Yeah. Everyone seconds.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Again, open the floor for any further nominations for secretary for the 2026 Delphi Board of Zoning Appeals. All right, here now we'll call vote. All in favor of approving Christina Langsdorf to hold the position of secretary for the 2026 Delphi Board of Zoning Appeals, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations and thank you all for stepping up. I will now hand it over to our president. And Brandon, if you want me to, we have the agenda here. Deb is here to walk us through it. It's just a step-by-step process, but if you're not comfortable, I'll be happy to help you. But otherwise, Mr. President,
It's been a minute.
the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to let you lead us through it.
Okay.
We have these once every year, so.
Year and a half.
Year and a half.
Okay, so we're here this evening for a public hearing for the Board of Zoning Appeals, BZA 26001 DV, which is Oracle Acres variances. We have Deb Lazier here from Code Crafters. We also have the developer here. We have Scott here, and we'll introduce your team once we get to that portion of it. The BZA is here to consider multiple dimensional variances for the Oracle Acres residential development. The property contains 12.11 acres and is located at approximately 7113 west, 200 north. The petitioner is Ribam Singh and the property owner is MGH Delphi Holdings. The variances requested include reduce the side yard setback from 6 to 5, to reduce the rear yard side setback from 15 to 5, reduce the minimum lot width from 60 to 39, reduce the minimum lot size from 3,500 square feet to 2,925 square feet per unit, and increase the maximum impervious lot coverage from 35% to 70%. So I'm going to let Deb Lazier from Code Crafters, who presented the board with their staff report. Deb, you want to go over? When we do these, we'll do a vote on probably each of them, correct?
You could do it each or all of them.
Do them all,
I mean, they
yeah.
need 'em, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
too, either way.
We'll just do them all at once because that's going to be a lot of voting. So Deb, do you want to give us an overview on your staff report?
Sure, and to just kind of update the original property that came through with the rezoning was the 12.11 acres. They're adding some acreage to rezone for the plan commission tonight, so this variance is intended to apply to 13.35 acres as identified on the staff report. That was my error there, but so I just wanted to bring that up to speed. Back in February, the property was rezoned from R1 to R2 to accommodate a unique residential duplex community. In August, additional property was added to the development and has requested that rezoning from R1 to R2 as well. think it's a little under an acre, so it's not a huge change. The developer is proposing a duplex development that would be aimed at first-time home buyers, young families and seniors, and would provide low-maintenance living without the burden of yard maintenance. The neighborhood would be managed by a homeowners association, and the staff report does include at least what we believe is their most current plot layout. So it does give a pretty overall picture of what the development would look like. As the mayor had mentioned, we have 5 variances to accommodate this unique product that isn't out in our ordinance. Reduce the side yard setback, reduce rear yard setback, reduce the minimum lot width, reduce the minimum lot size, and increase the maximum impervious lot coverage. The staff report did include a sample site layout for an individual unit, so you can kind of see that the garage is up front, living spaces around it, and the lot area is maximized to accommodate that development. Per state statute and the ordinance, all 3 of the variance criteria must be met before the BZA can grant a variance request from the development standards of the ordinance. The criteria and the applicant's responses are below. First one, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community because the applicant provided their response. Staff's response is that all of the requested setbacks have a direct effect on the drainage plan for the development. As long as the drainage plan still accommodates runoff and release rates that meet the city standards, approval of the variances will not have a negative impact on the community as a whole. The second finding, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. Staff finds that all of the requested setbacks have a direct effect on drainage. As long as that plan accommodates runoff and release rates, there will not be a negative impact on the community. In addition, the developer's property maintenance plan and provisions for extra community spaces will support the reduction in the individual yard sizes to support the development. And lastly, the strict application of the terms of the ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. Staff finds that the UDO does not have provisions for this type of 2-family subdivision development, minimizing setbacks and lot sizes to support additional community open space, and minimizing the individual lot costs would contribute to making this type of housing product a more affordable to first-time homeowners for this site. With that being said, staff recommends that the BZA approve the requested variances with the following condition: that perimeter fences, whether privacy or otherwise, should not be allowed on the individual lots because of the necessary drainage easements that will be required, as well as space needed for property maintenance by the developer.
Okay. Anything else to add, Deb?
Nope. All the public notices were in order, so we are good to go.
Okay, if there's nothing further from Deb, we will now have Ripham and the applicant. If you guys have anything you wish to present to the board, if you can come forward to the podium, please. Introduce yourself and I think Deb did a good job of summarizing everything, but Scott, if you want to give us a quick overview of.
Yeah, I'm Scott Wagner with the Allen White Agency. I'm the realtor that's helping with the planning and developing of this. Ripham Singh and his other investors will be the principals. We're purchasing the ground from MGH Delphi, which is also the owners where the Bowen Estates is going now. This product, hopefully you saw the pictures of it, is designed and focused on first-time homeowners and what I would call sunset homeowners. So ones who are tired of mowing 2 yards or 3 yards or an acre and a half or whatever, and they want to move into something a little bit more manageable. We're proposing that these would be approximately 1,084 square feet of living per unit, plus a 431 square foot garage per unit. So each unit will have its own drive, its own garage, and then there'll be 2-bedroom, 2-bath units. We're looking to keep the maintenance low on them, so there'll be There's not gonna be painting or anything like that, so the product should be, we're hoping will be affordable, low 200s. Maybe a little bit higher than that just because of current market and current expenses, but we're working with our contractors right now to try to get those numbers down even some. So we've got local contractors that are giving us the bids on the earth moving and the development. And we're ready to move whenever we think we get all the approvals from the city. I'd be happy to try to answer a question if you have.
Yeah, I'll open up the floor for any questions from the board. Okay. Thanks, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir.
All right, so before since there was no questions or discussion, we will now, this time we will adjourn the regular scheduled meeting at 6:15, Christina, and open up a public hearing for any questions at 6:15. This time, is there any public questions or comments? Final call for public comments or questions. All right, here none, we will adjourn the public hearing in 6:16. At 6:16, we will return to our regular board meeting. I will now again open it up to the board for any discussions or a motion to approve. Yeah, let's get a motion first, and then we'll go into if there's any questions. But so far, we don't have any. Is there a motion to approve the proposed BZA variance number BZA 26001 DV Oracle Acres variances? Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make it.
Allow necessary drainage easements.
Is there a second?
I'll make that second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve. I'll again call for any comments or discussion from the board. All right, here none, I will call a vote. All in favor of approving proposed variances for BZA 26001 for Oracle Acres with the stipulations mentioned in the packet mentioned by Christina, the secretary. All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Very good. Thank you. Our next item of business is going to be, Brandon, you want to handle this part or you want me to?
Sure, I'll take care of this one.
Okay,
You gave me one to go off of.
okay.
Next one to go over is we are going to amend the BZA rules and procedures. First, we are amending Article 2, Section 7. This is the update the section regarding the removal of PC members in accordance with HEA 1161. From what I understand, these are just new rules and regulations we need to follow, so.
Correct.
And then in addition to that, we have Article 9, Section 1.b.I. Consider reducing the public notice radius from 2 parcels deep or 660 feet, whichever is less, to simply 300 feet. Is this one also actual rules? From what I understand, this probably has more to do with reducing the cost to actually apply and not having to send as much notice to as many people.
And
And-
simplifying things.
Right,
for
yeah.
tracking down.
Right, making the process easier and finding the people a little bit easier, so, because it has been difficult in the past, from what I understand. So I first was gonna open the floor for discussion, I believe, right?
Yeah, get a motion on the floor for approving, and once you
A
get,
little bit back.
yeah, if you want Deb to give a quick,
Yeah.
So let's.
Yeah.
That's 1161. the legislators have felt that when you have a new administration, like a new mayor, new city council, other boards and such, they have things that they want to accomplish, goals and objectives of their administration. We have comprehensive plans, park plans, all these other plans. And our elected officials are wanting some type of confidence that our plan commission and BZA members are voting in support of those plans and making decisions that support those plans. So because of that, it used to be there was only one way that a member could be removed after they were appointed. Well, there's a few ways, but voluntarily or otherwise, the otherwise being you didn't show up for meetings. You know, you missed 3 meetings in a row. We're assuming you're not interested in fulfilling that role. We need to replace you. But with this new legislation, they're wanting to make it so that you serve at the pleasure of the authority that appointed you. So if the mayor appointed you and he feels that you are not voting to support the goals and objectives of the plans that are in place, he does have the authority to remove you and replace you if they choose. The caveat is only the person or council that appointed you can remove you. So if the mayor changes, but you remain and a new mayor comes in, new mayor cannot touch you. You're golden. Same with the council. If you are a council appointment by the entire council, the exact council has to be the same one to remove you. So there's still some independence and autonomy there, but from what I understand, this was essentially just to help guarantee that the current administration's goals and objectives move forward.
So can I ask a quick question?
Absolutely.
That kind of conflicts itself because that new mayor coming in, if those members remained, that mayor might have there might be a different vision there, right? So then at that point, that mayor then has the authority to remove any of the current members, right?
Either of own appointments.
Okay, so it would take the whoever appointed them to pick that. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
You're stuck with us.
I'm okay with that, but yeah.
So we still have the provision that says in the event, those boards and membership have changed, you still have to show up for meetings and do what you've been charged with doing. So we can still vote you if there's a problem with showing up. So, but keep in mind, in our rules and procedures, we do have provisions for participating remotely. So going on vacation is not going to necessarily get you off the hook, or I want to just stay home and hang out. Sorry, that's not good. The other one, much easier, and this is merely a lot of my communities are trying to, again, reduce the cost and simplify things for notifying surrounding property owners. Right now we have 600 feet and at least 2 properties deep, whichever 660 feet, whichever is less. That's hard to walk into the county records and search out, okay, I got my 660, but now it's too deep. Who is that? Whereas if you walk in there and say, hey, I need a list of everybody within 300 feet of my property, boom, they kick it out and it just makes it a little easier. I am not stuck on the 300 feet. It's just my cities and towns, incorporated areas, that seems to be a magic number based on historic lot sizes. If you feel 400 feet is better, 200 feet is better, it's not gonna hurt my feelings. It's just a way to make things a little easier and less expensive for those applicants.
Thank you.
Yeah, there was so this year, the State House during session, there was a lot of discussions involving 1161 and just a lot of housing initiatives that were kind of shifted around. So I had the opportunity to sit in on several sessions and talk to legislators every single day, every single week for what seemed like 6 months, but it was only a month. And this was a short session, so a lot of conversations in the hallway. And the housing initiative is a statewide initiative that every community is facing the challenges of shortage, and so the process of simplifying it, make it easier for the developers, for the communities, for these commissions, these boards, because there's a lot to it. What the public sees is is these meetings and everything that we've combined, but the behind the scenes work involved is a lot. So they're trying to make it simpler, but yet work for every community. And that's sometimes a hard sell because not every community is the same. Delphi is not the same as Westfield or Carmel, or not the same as Lebanon. So how do you fit that mold to make it a something that's going to work for everyone? But any further updates from the legislation side that,
Not that affects the BZA,
okay.
the board, everybody.
Oh, I love this stuff. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Mr. President.
So can I hear a motion regarding Article 2, Section 7, and Article 9, Section, I guess, first? Can I get a motion whether it's one or both or altogether separate?
I make a motion to amend the BZA rules and procedures in both Article 2 and 9.
Is there a second?
That,
I'm gonna open the floor for discussion. Any questions or comments?
Secretary, there's a typo on our board, and section 2, Article 2, section 7, the line 2, instead of members shall serve, it should be who served, shall,
Or who, I'm sorry,
who served, yeah.
dispatch.
Those picky people who read all the stuff.
Thank you. I like that.
Regarding that comment, do we want to make a separate motion to amend the wording of that? Do we need to do that?
I don't think that was just
The
an
typo.
internal type error that won't change the legislation part. So I think we're good. Yep.
I do have one question. The planning commission, what are their rules for distance? Don't they have distance rules as well for people they have to notify?
Yes.
For area
Yes, it
We're
planning?
is.
considering
Is that-
making a duplicate change.
Yep.
Okay.
It'll be the same.
Is
Yeah,
that
it's
happening
public notice.
later in the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay, is the recommendation 300 as well?
Yep. It's all standard Indiana
Okay.
code and
Just wanna make sure we're the
statute. So,
same.
Yep.
Didn't want it to be different. It didn't really make sense.
yeah, you can make,
Makes sense.
there's some
Yeah.
cities and counties that go 1,500 and I'm like, okay, that's definitely not going to work for smaller communities, but they can change according to their area, right? Their topography, which for us, that's not what we want.
You
But
send certified mail, it's like $25 a letter or
Correct.
something, right?
Just first class, but you still have to take it in to get it cross-checked with the postal worker. It's half the price, maybe even a little less, but still it's a huge
Still
savings.
expensive.
It is, yeah.
Okay. That was it.
Yep, good point.
So. Could I get an all in favor for Article 2, Section 7 and Article 9? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next order of business, could we get new business from the floor? Anything we need to bring up?
Only thing I have is following this meeting, we'll go into the planning commission part for more procedural matters to handle and then some zoning. So tonight's both meetings are copycat each other and it's progress. It's good progress. So
Next, any announcements, which you were supposed to wait for that comment for announcements, but
maybe I have a special. I don't know.
if you have another announcement.
No, but I don't want to bore you guys.
Well, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. It is 6:28. The BZA meeting is officially